So the ocean is apparently way deeper than you think. And in this video, we're gonna learn about one of the creatures that may be dwelling deep down there in the dark. So before we start, make sure you leave a like on this video, especially if you agree with the fact that the ocean is actually kind of a creepy place. And let me know what your favorite ocean animal is down below in the comments. Now let's get straight into the reacting.
Dr. Krishnamoorthy says, Manava, I was wrong. God save me. It's not SCP-3000.
Oh, so that's one of the creatures?
Quickly consumes Krishnamoorthy. 3000 disappears into the darkness and is no longer visible on exterior cameras.
So the creature we're gonna be reacting to apparently is called SCP-3000. It looks to be some kind of giant sea creature. He just ate one of the scientists, so smash like to pay respects to her.
Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber.
What's poppin'?
Today we bring you a SCP Foundation Thiumel class object, SCP-3000.
That's a lot of words.
SCP-3000, also known as a Anantasesha.
Okay, say it with me. Anantasesha. Anantasesha. Alright, now we said it once, we're never gonna say it again because that was way too hard to say.
The massive aquatic serpentine entity strongly resembling a giant moray eel.
An eel?
Its size is impossible to determine, but it is estimated to be roughly between 600 to 900 kilometers in length.
What? 600 to 900 kilometers in length? That's insane. That's like the size of a small town, I think. So if you were to put this thing on land, it would probably, you know, crush a whole little village. That's insane.
Its head measures roughly 2.5.
Wait a second. 600 to 900 kilometers. That's like 900,000 meters. Wait, that's the size of a whole city. What? Guys, we gotta do some research. So I just googled what the size of New York is, one of the biggest cities in the world, and that city is only 780 square kilometers. So the length and width is probably less than that. So whatever this creature is, it could probably cross the entire New York area and there'd still be a bunch of creature left. So that's pretty insane.
Its head measures roughly 2.5 meters in diameter.
That's not much.
And sections of the body proper are as large as 10 meters in diameter. 3000 is carnivorous.
Oh,
and typically
no.
a sedentary creature.
Wait, carnivorous? I'm pretty sure that means it eats meat. So that means if it ever sees you floating around in the water, you're in big trouble, especially if it's hungry. I mean, think about it. It's the size of New York City, so we wouldn't even be able to satisfy its hunger. We'd be like a little Skittle. That's what we would be. We'd be the size of a Skittle, and we'd also, you know, be a little snack, like a Skittle-sized snack.
Only moving its head in response to certain stimuli or during feeding. Despite its sedentary nature, 3000 is capable of moving quickly to dispatch
That's
prey.
terrifying.
However, it doesn't actually need nutrients to maintain its biological function, though its size is huge. It is unknown exactly what happened to the prey it consumes, but during feeding, 3000 excretes through its skin a thin layer of a viscous, dark gray substance classified as Y909.
What is that?
The Y909 compound is a critical component in several modern and experimental amnestic compounds. SCP-3000 is a Class 8 cognitohazardous entity. Direct observation of 3000 may cause several mental alterations.
That's just a difficult word to say. If you see this creature in real life, you will go cuckoo, because you will probably just not be able to fathom the fact that this thing exists deep down in the ocean. The ocean is so big, it is possible for such a thing to exist. Like, we don't know. We've never been to the bottom of the ocean, I think. Or have we? Let me know down below in the comments.
The observer will experience inexplicable head pain, paranoia, general fear and panic, and memory loss or alteration. According to a log from Site 151's historical records, written by Dr. Eugene Getz, during the initial discovery of SCP-3000, an unease was felt throughout the entire crew.
Understandable.
A biologist of the Foundation named William felt the most ill. He began sweating profusely and act more and more erratically.
Wow.
At one point expressing uncertainty as to the task he was assigned to handle.
Memory loss?
When the crew finally came into contact with 3000, William began whimpering and had to be sedated.
Holy crap.
He muttered the word no over and over again, as if in disbelief. He went silent after a while as the crew approached 3000's head.
Why are they approaching the mouth? Why would you approach the mouth of something that could literally swallow your whole submarine in like one swallow? Like, look at this thing. Imagine just being in a submarine. Remember, guys, submarines are actually pretty big, and you could literally fit inside the mouth of this creature that you just discovered. I don't know about you guys, but I'd probably be acting like William as well. I don't think he's acting crazy. He's acting normal. Like any normal person would react that way, I think.
Something had gone from William's eyes. Moments after they observed the head of
Oh my God.
SCP-3000, several other crew members complained of feeling hazy and of being uncertain what they were supposed to
They all got
doing.
memory loss?
Captain Ritter wrote it off as nitrogen intoxication and forced them to continue approaching 3000.
That's a bad idea.
When the crews were 50 meters away from 3000, it turned slowly to look at them. At that moment, William began screaming and flailing,
Understandable.
shouting about how he could see it in his head. Other Foundation personnel tried to restrain him, but he got free and smashed his face against one of the portholes.
Oh, did he break
He hit
it?
so hard, he cracked the inner layer of glass. The damage was bad enough that the crew had to surface and try to give William medical attention.
So they survived?
But he was too far gone at that point. Despite the trauma, he still spoke briefly as he lay dying. He said, "There's nothing, nothing, nothing." By the time they had reached the surface several hours later, William was dead. In the log, Dr. Eugene Getz wrote that even now, he can still see the eyes of SCP-3000.
I mean, that's normal, right? If I were to see a creature like that, I would probably never forget the way it looked at me. Like, I feel like this is all pretty normal. I'm sure all of us will react this way.
Despite this incident, a diving expedition was ordered to personally assess the creature
Oh,
and investigate the source of the thick, gray fluid that had been observed floating around its head. The dive team was composed of 3 members of mobile task forces, Kingfishers. All divers were equipped with high-pressure suits as well as front-facing headlamps. The water was dark and cold. They were in position about 500 meters from the head of SCP-3000. Moments after being in the water, the team leader told the command station that they seemed to have some confusion over their call sign. And they were not sure where they were going. They felt an awful headache, like something's needling in their brain.
They got amnesia.
Regardless, Command told the team to continue towards 3000, but all the divers were completely confused about where they were. As they continued approaching, one of the divers began to utter ominous phrases concerning oblivion and dark eyes. Just at that moment, Command detected 3000 moving rapidly towards the divers, and their radios went silent.
They got
After
AIDS.
33 seconds of silence, one of the divers finally answered to the radio. According to the log, the leader of the team said 3000 opened its mouth, and suddenly there was the sound of a struggle through the other 2 radios. Only one of them remains. The other 2 have been eaten by 3000.
Nice skittle.
The one remained not being eaten claimed that it's extremely difficult to form thoughts while near 3000. He said that the fluid was seeping through the skin around its head, about a meter back. Just looking at the stuff is making him feel like the room is spinning. He feels nauseous, and his head isn't working right. He went to retrieve a sample and attached it to one of those little balloons.
He still did his
and let it
job?
float up so Command will be able to get it later. After that, he claimed that he knows he is dying and told the command station not to send anyone else out
He's
there.
a G!
It is so dark. Command continued to attempt to communicate with 09 Bravo, but Bravo grew increasingly unintelligible before eventually going completely silent. Bravo's radio stayed active over the next 3 days, and intermittent breathing could be heard.
He's still
until
alive?
The radio ceased functioning. In the beginning, we have mentioned that SCP-3000 is a Thaumiel-class entity.
Whatever that may mean.
Thaumiel-class SCPs are anomalies that the Foundation specifically uses to contain other SCPs.
Wait. You're telling me the SCP Foundation is using this giant creature to contain other SCPs? How are they doing that? Wait, I want to know more. How the heck is that even possible?
Even the mere existence of the Thaumiel-class objects is classified at the highest level of the Foundation, and their locations, functions, and current status are known to few Foundation personnel outside of the O5 Council. So, how can a giant moray eel that messes up your head helps the SCP Foundation in their operation?
That's what I'm wondering.
The answer is in the dark gray substance classified as Y909. SCP Foundation uses a large number of amnestic during their work. It is vital for keeping the secrecy of the Foundation. The inclusion of the Y909 compound has shown a marked increase in the stability and long-term effectiveness of the Foundation's amnestics.
Wait, so they're using that gray gunk that's coming out of the creature's pores to make amnesia medicine? It's like that one thing in Men in Black where they flash people so they get amnesia. That's insane. So that's how the SCP Foundation is able to stay a secret like this because of that substance. So how were they doing that before they discovered this creature? That's what I'm wondering. Were they just, you know, hitting people across the head with baseball bats? Because that would probably work, I think.
Overall, amnestics utilizing Y909 break down 78% slower than their standard counterparts in cold storage, and 52% slower than their standard counterparts at room temperature.
Interesting.
Additionally, individuals administered an amnestic regimen utilizing Y909 show a marked increase in suggestibility,
memory
memory clearance, and a significant decrease in additional side effects. Individuals treated with these amnestics express significantly fewer intrusive memories as those without Y909, with some individuals exposed to experimental compounds expressing no intrusive memories whatsoever, even at the 5 and 10-year marks.
What?
Due to the effectiveness of these treatments with the addition of Y909, the continued inclusion of the compound is essential to modern Foundation amnestic application. The SCP Foundation has completely relied on the Y909 compound with no means to synthetically reproduce it. Hence, the atzak protocol has been developed.
Now what's this?
This protocol dictates the way the Y909 compound is collected off of SCP-3000 and the way personnel are to interact with 3000.
So this is what I'm wondering, like this thing could eat you like a Skittle. So how the heck are all these people actually getting this substance? Because remember, people that get near this SCP, they start acting all cuckoo in the head. So how are they able to actually secure this amnestic compound thingy? That's what I'm wondering.
According to the brief framework of the procedure documented, one individual D-class subject is to be administered a sedative and equipped with a high-pressure diving suit.
What?
The subject is then to be tethered to a remotely operated underwater vehicle, ROV, within the aft airlock. The airlock is to be flooded, and the subject is to be towed by the ROV towards the feeding site.
What?
Upon reaching the feeding site, the ROV is to disconnect its tether, leave the subject there, and return to the Foundation submarine, named SCPF Aramida.
So they're just dropping D-class down there in the ocean? Wait, I feel like there's a more practical way of doing this. Like, for example, couldn't you use this exact thing that's remotely controlled to scoop the stuff off of SCP-3000? Wouldn't that be more practical? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being dumb, but I feel like that will be smarter to do. But let's just see what they do.
Throughout this stage, SCPF Aramida should monitor SCP-3000's position and adjust course if the entity begins to move away from the feeding site. Mission Command will provide additional instructions during this phase if necessary. During the feeding session, no personnel are permitted to leave the Aramida without authorization from the Mission Command. At a point after the total consumption of prey, SCP-3000 will begin to excrete Y909 near the foremost section of its body.
Wow, that's messed up. I thought they were bringing that prisoner down there so the prisoner could scoop up some of that Y909 and bring it back up. But no, they're literally feeding humans to this creature. It's literally a trade. Wow, that's messed up. They literally, wow. I'm shocked. I feel kind of bad for that prisoner. Pay your respects down below by smashing the like button.
Specialized teams of deep sea divers are to exit the SCPF Aramida through the aft airlock and approach SCP-3000. Collection of Y909 must take place during SCP-3000's digestive period, which is currently believed to be roughly 2.5 hours after consumption of prey.
Okay.
Teams must return to launch craft before the end of this period. During this period, the typical effects of SCP-3000 are less severe.
So that's how they do it.
Command should continue to monitor these teams for damage to their cognition. After the collection of Y909, personnel are to transfer the collected substance to secure containers before returning to the surface. The mission administrator on board the Aramida is to monitor the substance throughout transport.
Why?
The following report concerns 2 doctors. The Foundation's Level 3 researcher, Dr. Krishnamoorthy, and a staff clinical psychologist, Dr. Manava.
Okay.
Dr. Manava was assigned to interview Dr. Krishnamurthy after he attempted to exit out the Aramida's aft airlock without diving equipment.
That's
Dr.
dumb.
Krishnamurthy begins discussing how he feels disconnected from his mind and tired from trying to keep it together. He's forgetting things, having other people's dreams, and faces he doesn't recognize, places he has never been.
What?
Clearly, his proximity to 3000 is greatly affecting him. At this point, Dr. Krishnamoorthy couldn't remember his mother's voice, but he recalls that she told him about a god called Anatasesha, the king of serpents that lies beneath the god Vishnu in the cosmos.
Oh.
When the light of the universe had gone out, all that would be left is Anatasesha. Dr. Krishnamoorthy believes that SCP-3000 is Anatasesha. He says in the interview with Dr. Manava,
Wow.
I believe that SCP-3000 is Anatasesha. I believe that this aberration, this treachery against cognition, is the result of us being in the presence of a god.
That would make
Not
sense.
just a god, but a god who exists across all time, all at once, and even beyond. Maybe some part of the nothingness beyond the edge of time is part of Anastasia as well. After 2 days of containment, orders were received to lift the hold order on Dr. Krishnamoorthy in accordance to the terms of the atzak protocol. 3 hours after Dr. Krishnamoorthy was released from his holding cell, the following incident took place. Dr. Krishnamoorthy stands near the entrance to the Aramita's aft airlock while weeping and prepares to open the airlock door.
Did they not learn from the time this guy tried to do this like 2 days ago? How is he even near an airlock again? Come on, SCP Foundation. You must be smarter than this.
Interior airlock camera captures Dr. Krishnamoorthy staring at the exterior airlock door for a full 2 minutes, not moving an inch. After 2 minutes, he collapses on the ground. As 3000 slowly approaches the submarine, Dr. Krishnamoorthy puts on a high-pressure deep-sea diving suit and then moves towards exterior door controls and then exits the Aramita's aft airlock. SCP-3000 slowly appears out of the darkness, reaches Dr. Krishnamoorthy, and his mouth begins to open. Aramita sounds horns, but neither SCP-3000 nor subject appear to notice. 3000 moves to just above Dr. Krishnamoorthy. He appears to look up into the now fully expanded jaw of 3000.
That's insane.
Dr. Krishnamoorthy says, "Manava, I was wrong. God save me. It's not." SCP-3000 strikes and quickly consumes Krishnamoorthy.
Wait, so he was wrong? So all that stuff before, he was just capping about it, none of it is true? Or did he just discover something even worse? Leave your theories down below.
3000 disappears into the darkness and is no longer visible on exterior cameras. Rescue crews are recalled. The crew begins to initiate the atzak protocol.
They lost SCP-3000? Yo, I don't know about you guys, but this video made me never want to step a foot into the ocean ever in my life. We don't know what's down there, you know? All kinds of creepy things could be down there. Sharks, giant eels, the IRS, all kind of creepy creatures. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button right now. Make sure you check out the rubber down below in the description for more SCP animations. Now go check out some of my other videos right here and here. And I'll see you guys there. Peace.